Morning, Mark. Nice to see you.
Morning, John. Good to see you again.
How you doing? You alright?
Yeah.
Good. It's a busy Friday for you, but I just want to take a couple of moments to ask you a question of how you got started in the property game. You're one of our local experts around here. You've got many, many years of experience, and I just wanted to ask you, how did you start?
How did I start?
Yeah.
2006. Was it 2006? Yeah. So what's that? 15 years ago, round about now, May, June. Me and my brother started up in a property up the road, basically. And we didn't know what we were going to do. How's that for you?
What were you doing at the time?
I was in the insurance business at the time.
Oh, wow.
I won't tell you which insurance company I was working for, but I just wanted it out.
Okay.
And my brother actually sold some pubs, and we thought we'd do something together. And it took us about 3 months, maybe longer, to decide what we were going to do. We still haven't decided what we were doing, to be honest with you. But we were going to buy a property up Station Road, and it was just a terrace property, and we were going to turn it into an office and trade from there. And at that stage, we still didn't really know what we were going to do. But as the property game and sales go on, that fell through. We tracked the fella, the estate agent actually tracked the fella down to the pub, and he wouldn't go and sign a contract. So it was a funny job. So we ended up renting.
Yeah.
And give us a minute, and I'll walk up there with you, and I'll show you where we rented.
Yeah, great.
We got over this property to rent, and even at that stage, we weren't sure what we were going to do. But I could sell some insurance, because I was in the insurance business. So that's what I was going to do a little bit. But I know there weren't going to be that much money in that, to be honest with you. But I was taking a gamble. And it ended up that my brother was going to sell some holidays, which he did. We ended up packaging flights and holidays, villas and things like that. And to be fair, that did okay. And we could have made a living out of that, probably.
So how did you make the transition from that into property? What happened?
What happened was, actually, we set it all up to do a bit of travel, flights and everything. We had signs up, a little bit of a sign. And I was upstairs going to do some insurance. And then this lad came in, who I knew from school, which was going back 15, 20 years. And I hadn't seen him for 15, 20 years. And he popped his head round, and he didn't actually know who we were. And I should be careful what I do actually say, but basically he popped his head round and said, "Them robbing gits next door want £1,500 to sell his house." So I said, "Put sign in window and I'll sell it for you." And my brother sat there and looked at me and went, "What?" I said, "Yeah, put sign in window and I'll sell it for you."
Wow.
He said, "Well, how much are you going to charge?" And I just said, "Oh, give us £100.
Wow.
Like mates rates, even though I hadn't known it for years, basically. So off he went, and then my brother said to me, "What have you done?" I said, "I'm going to sell his house." "Can we do that?" I went, "Well, there's no rules and regulations. We're just going to take a picture of his house, and I'm going to stick it in window, basically. A bit like what you do as a newsagent, isn't it? Basically. It was at the time when digital cameras were coming into play and things like that, basically. Now I'm going to backtrack a little bit, John, because I said 2006, but actually it was 2000.
Wow, that's 21 years ago.
It was 2006 when I actually moved down here,
Okay.
from up there.
Uh-huh.
So it was actually 2000 when internet was just getting going and digital cameras were coming in and things like that. So I had to go and find a camera and this, that and the other, and go and buy one because we weren't, right? So I took a picture of his house and I stuck it in window. And as you'll see in a minute, and actually I printed it just on some paper, like you do. And we had to go and get a printer, coloured printer and everything. And we stuck it in window. And then it got a little bit wet.
Oh.
Well, that's how we progressed. Then we had to go and get a laminating machine, and because we had to laminate it and then put it in window. Then we had to go and find some for sale boards. We didn't know anything. I ended up putting for sale boards up on my own.
Wow, so that's how you started, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my brother, and we went to B&Q and we bought the wood.
No.
You did, John.
Wow.
We bought the wood. How many posts do we need? We thought we need 20 posts, this, that and the other. And he bought the wood. And we went to his house and we painted all this wood.
Wow.
And had our old boys.
What a way to start.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we got people ringing us up, sell their house.
Oh, so it works. So it's you've gone from that to where we
So
are
that
today.
to that,
Wow.
and then it worked. And then it was like, went down to look at somebody's house, said, how much do you want? We didn't lie to anybody, we just said, how much do you want? Because most people have an idea, basically what they want. And I ended up putting it first for sale by Bordeaux. And that didn't go well, John.
Oh, did it not?
By the time I got back to the office, it had fallen down.
Oh, wow. There you go. There you go. That's, what happens sometimes.
Well, that's what happens. But we sold them, and I think we got nearly every difficult property that people couldn't sell, or the other agents couldn't sell. They might have been overpriced, or there was something wrong with them, and they were quirky and this, that, and the other.
What an amazing story. I tell you what, why don't you take us to the place where it all started?
What, you want to go and have a look?
Yeah, take us there.
Where it started?
Yeah, shall we go have a look?
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Go on then. I'll get my jacket. You beat me, John.
I know.
You must have run, mate. Anyway, this is where we started. 2000, the digital area.
Wow.
Mark Walsh Estates.
So this is where the dream started then, eh?
It wasn't Mark Walsh Estates until 2006.
No.
No, we had it as home for sale.
Uh-huh.
How did we come up with that name then, John?
I've no idea. Is it because it's quite a simple name to come up
That's it. We couldn't think of hotels, so we called it home for sale.
with? So tell me, why did you pick here? What was it about this location, 206?
No, it worked well. No, we didn't pick this location. It was the only office available at the time to rent.
Ah, right, fair enough.
Because we were, if you look up the road, what is a fireworks shop now? Good friend of mine owns a fireworks shop.
Yeah.
We were going to rent that. That was just a terrace property.
Ah, right.
We were going to turn it into an office.
Uh-huh.
And I bought it about 18 months later and then turned it into a flat
Yeah.
and an office downstairs, but we never ended up trading.
No.
But I think I sold that to Firework Man, and he's done an excellent job, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
That shop front there was not what I had. It was just a terrace window.
It's a very
uh,
busy part of Bamber
Right.
Bridge, this, isn't it? Tell us about the competition around here. What's it been like over the years?
Well, as you can see, we were going to do some insurance here and do a bit of holidays, package some holidays for people, flights and things like that. Well, like I said, somebody went into here, as you can see, Bridgefords, they were there when I first opened. This lad basically came next door and said he's getting charged £1,500 to sell his property.
Yeah.
So I actually said I'll put it in my window,
Uh-huh.
£100, which I did.
So tell me about how you went from starting here to actually owning properties yourself. Tell us about that journey.
That journey, well, I was sat in here and all investors kept coming in, asking me what have I got to sell. And they were buying off me. At that stage, I didn't know anything about it. But I picked the brains, because every week they were coming in buying properties, renting them out, buying run-down stuff mainly. What bargains were there? Generally, the way to bargain when we could make money out of a run-down property mainly,
Yeah.
or take advantage of somebody who had to sell, basically.
So here we are, Mark, outside the fireworks shop. This is where it all started, or you wanted it to start here, yeah?
We were going to buy this, it was a terrace property like this originally. We were going to trade from here and turn it into an office.
Yep.
And we ended up buying it about 18 months later. And I rented it out downstairs. It was a sweet shop actually. And I had it out as a flat, but I sold it probably 4 or 5 years ago now
Yeah.
to a great guy called Wayne. Wayne's a bit of a builder as well, and he's put a fantastic window in, something I should have done. But you live and learn. And I shouldn't have sold it, to be honest with you, John, like you do. At the time, it was probably the right thing to do.
Uh-huh.
But when I think back now, if I could have actually sorted the window out and have kept it properly,
Oh wow.
But yeah, first one.
Cool. So here we are, Mark. Tell us about the road that we're stood on now at the moment.
You beat me here again, John. Bloody hell, mate. You walk too quick for me. I'm getting old.
Tell me where we are.
This road here, Oxford Street. Oxford Road, whichever it is. Bamber Bridge. Well, this is the first property I bought. It got to about 2003. When investors were coming in. And I thought I better buy one, basically. I think I had £5 deposit, 5% or something, on a credit card. Bit naughty that, but anyway. £5 deposit, had no other money. It needed completely refurbing. New kitchen, new bathroom, this, that and the other. But I actually bought this with an investor myself, one of my mates, who still has about 10 properties with me. And he leaves me alone. I see him once a year to share the money up, the rent's up, and that's it with investor. People say don't get involved with other investors and this, that and the other, but if you've got to do a deal to make something, then do the deal with what you can do.
Do you still own this property? Yeah.
No, I sold this one. I had it for about 5 years.
Yeah.
I learnt a lot when I first bought this, John. It was a shithole.
Oh wow.
But I was working in office. I'd open office up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, close office up at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and then I'd have to come around here doing painting, put bathroom in and put kitchen in all myself. I weren't getting home till 10, 11 o'clock.
Wow, hard worker.
I remember when I put this toilet in, bath, when I turned water on, the bath flowed the wrong way.
God.
So I had to disconnect it all and redo it. Same with toilet. Forgot to put the bloody pipe in bottom of the toilet, so I had to start that again. So, well, that's how you do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you know money, you do it yourself.
Absolutely. So what did you learn, what was the biggest lesson that you learned over the years, would you say?
Try and do your house up better than that most investors do, for a start. And try and get decent tenants.
Yeah.
And try and keep some money behind you. But if you can't, you can't. So I had no money behind me. So I got the wrong sort of tenants, to be honest with you, John.
Oh really?
That's the trick, getting the right sort of tenants. So, and the bad tenants generally will take anything they can get their hands on.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want.
No.
Well, that was the first one. I sold it a few years later. Probably kept it 10 years, to be honest.
Wow.
30 grand. Spent about 5 doing it up. People say, can you do that today with property prices now at 80 grand? But it's all relative, to be honest with you. You get your mortgage, you get your deposit. Things have moved on with inflation. I think these today, now, I think one of these, not too sure which one, was sold for about 110 in the last few weeks.
Oh wow.
Basically. But you don't make a lot of money out of it to start with.
No.
It's a time game, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like 20 years ago. So you keep something for 20 years. Your rents, the profit out your rent will probably just go to maintaining it. The profit comes in 20 years.
Yeah.
15, 20 years, 10 years. So it's not instant. Basically, it's tricks at trade. Get it, remortgage it, get your money back out of it, go and do another one.
So this is how it started then. Wow.
Started.
Tell you what, shall we head back to the office then? Yeah.
How many have I got now?
Yeah. How many have you got now?
About 30.
Wow.
I've got 30 and I manage about 300 for
Yeah.
the landlords, mainly in London. Landlords in London. A few international landlords. Some of them I haven't actually spoke to them for 10 years. I just keep sending them the rent. So,
I suppose that's what landlords want though, isn't it? That's that they don't want to be bothered, you know, just collect the rent and that's it.
they give me the property and they trust me, and I send them the rent. Any problems, I generally sort out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get problems, John, like anything in life. You get problems working in shipping, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Working in a pub, you get problems. So, yeah, landlord just wants us to sort it out. They don't want to know about any problems.
No. Right, shall we head back to the office then, yeah?
Yeah, come on, let's go back to office.
So here we are, Mark, back to the modern day, back to the present, 2021. How did you get hands on this office behind you?
This office here,
Yeah.
I got that after I got this one, John. Not greedy me, but I got this one first.
Yeah?
Because a great friend, one of my great managers who used to manage me when I played football, I was a kid. He had an estate agency actually in Leyland.
Okay.
For some reason I got talking to him, bumped into him as such.
Yeah.
Told him what I was doing. I asked him what advice would he give me. He said buy your own office. That's the only advice he told me. He didn't give me any advice about estate agency or anything like that. He just said buy your own office. I
Wow.
was up the road for 3 years. I had a 3-year lease. And after 3 years, landlord wanted to put it up. So I tore that letter up and said, I'm not having that. And I come down, had a look round. This was a bay window terrace property. And I took a punt on it that I could get planning permission on it, turn it into an office. So I bought that one first, traded from there for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
At the same time, this one came up a few years later.
Yeah.
I bought this property where I am now. And in 2006, I rented them both out and moved to Preston
Wow.
and built up a portfolio of properties to manage.
So how many do you manage now, would you say?
I manage now about 300
Wow.
basically,
It's quite a lot.
all over Preston. I got some in Whalley, some in Clitheroe, but mainly in Preston.
Yeah.
And then 2 to 3 years ago, I decided to come back home to Brig. I wonder why. Sometimes.
Well-
Yeah, Brig's good, isn't it?
Thank you for taking me on your journey. It's been amazing to have a little tour around Bamber Bridge. What's your favourite thing about Bamber Bridge, would you say?
When you drive out of it.
And how
It's
can
okay,
people
isn't it?
how can people get in touch with you if they're looking to sell their home or if they're looking to maybe, use you guys for your property management services?
I think get in touch with me.
Yeah.
Walk into our office anytime you want. Never mind all this internet business, John. Come and see us. Come and see Gemma. Come on, let's go see Gemma.
Shall we? Go ahead.
Hey, hang on, Luke's in as well.
Oh, here we go.
This is Gemma,
Hard at work.
the famous Gemma.
Hello.
You got Luke, chilled. Not chilled out, Luke.
Yeah.
Luke's running the sweet shop at the moment.
How's it going, Luke?
Oh, he's eating them all.
Oh. How's it going, Gemma? You alright?
How's Empire going, Gem?
Good, yeah.
Yeah?
Busy?
Busy.
What have you done? How many what maintenance jobs have you got on go?
Logs.
Alright.
She does maintenance, sales, lettings, EPCs, electrical
Just a bit of
certificates, drains, plumbing, roofing. Anything else, Jim? Oh, and Airbnb.
Alright.
We're going into Airbnb.
Airbnb.
If you got a property,
Sore subject.
if you got any properties, Airbnb. Give Welsh Estates a call. Come and see Gemma. Luke. She's got a sweet shop, John.
I hear.
Yeah. We'll say no more.
What's it like working for Mark, Luke? Do you enjoy yourself?
That's a nightmare, isn't it? Look at him.
Well, there you go. Boom.